Rovers' search for a goalkeeping rival to Ainsley Pears continues this week, as of course a experienced pro who used to play under the likes of Jose Mourinho and co. Who am I talking about? We're going to get into it, all of it, next. That's right, folks, back once again with another transfer video today. We're looking at the goalkeeper departments, and it is a superstar of the past who could be coming in to join Ainsley Pears in the goalkeeper department. Who am I talking about? We'll get into it, all of it, in a second. If you're new, where you been? Smash your subscribe button. One-stop shop for Rovers continues right here on the Roverseas. Of course, I am on the road still, but the rumours continue. Today, we're going to take a little look at another player linked to a move to Ewood Park. Who is it? We'll get into it in a minute. Big shout out to the VIPs. They are the patrons. You know who you are. And again, if you're new, smash that subscribe. Let's, of course, take a deep dive into this latest link, which is on the screen now. Of course, here he is. Asmir Begovic, that's right, 37-year-old goalkeeper. He formerly or currently was on the books of QPR last season as the Rovers recruitment team spends a weekend down at Loftus Road looking at Lyndon Dykes as well as Asmir Begovic, trying to bring him up here to compete with Ainsley Pears. Potentially as a number one, of course. It would be. I'm not gonna be shy here. This would be a fucking phenomenal signing for me. I think Begovic. Yes, he's old and all that, but this is just what we need. I think, especially if Begovic is keen to keep on playing, I think we could squeeze a couple of years out of him, and it gives me Brad Friedel vibes. Brad Friedel vibes gives me Paul Robinson vibes a little bit. I think this would be a stellar keeper. And what he does boast as well is leadership. He was captain, I think, for QPR last season, in a season that started woefully. And, of course, we'll have a look at his numbers in a minute. I think he was pretty much a regular between the sticks. Of course, a wobbly season for QPR, but eventually managed to get into to safety. Yeah. So let's have a look at Mr. Begovic, of course, and remind ourselves of what he's all about. Well, he is, of course, the latest name linked with Rovers in between the sticks, and we're going to go down that a little bit. We'll explore that in a minute. So here he is, Mr. Begovic, rocking a QPR jersey last season and the captain's armband. 37 years of age. He just turned 37, so you could probably kid ourselves that he's technically 36, but he just turned 37. Whopping 199 centimeters tall. Of course, he has, or maybe even still plays for Bosnia. Now, should I bring that one up right now? I'll do this live improvisation. I want to see if he's still playing. I think he is still playing for Bosnia. No, he gave up that ghost 4 years ago. No longer there. But could he still play? He probably could still play for Bosnia. Anyway, regardless of all that, he's out. Well, he's no club right now. But look at that. Look at that history there. It's a long list of clubs, a lot of English-based clubs as well, but highlights being that of Chelsea time. He was on the books of Bournemouth, Stoke City there, and of course a little bit of a time at Ipswich and Everton. So he's been there, and AC Milan as well. He's been there, seen it, and he's got the T-shirt. And if he wants to keep playing, you know what? Let's get chatting with him. So let's take a look at his stats then for the season. 45 games played last season. He played every single minute of it. He was in the team of the week 5 times. He kept average goal conceded rate of 1.3 goals conceded per game. That's not great, is it? He did face 1 penalty, did not save it. Goals conceded because he 57 goals last season. There's a clean sheet stat on there. I think it must be on the next one here. Clean sheets. There it is. 13 clean sheets last season. Pretty dang good, if you don't mind me asking. His accurate passes, 65% passes. He was successful 89% of the time in his own half, 31% opposition half, and 33% long balls as well. Got himself 4 yellows. He had also got 1 red card, possibly for that penalty. I don't know, but ultimately that's his resume for the season. Let's take a look at his valuation. Once peaked at around about £14 million. That's of course when he was at the books at Stoke, who did take the punt of him. Who he worked him a treat nice and early in his career. Then of course Chelsea came in on him. And then, of course, he was slowly went to more of a backup sort of role. Bournemouth then gobbled him up as well. He then went abroad to Qarabag and AC Milan, back to Bournemouth. Everton, QPR as well. So he's been around. He's on the wane, of course. Valuation of 300,000, but he is free. He's going for a song. And I wanted to compare him against a player we were linked with, and it was looking like that we were going to sign John Ruddy, who has now made the switch to go as a passenger for the Newcastle United steam train. He will be probably third or even fifth choice. I don't even know. He's there. He's decided to do that, but that's who the player, that's the caliber of player we were linked with. Now I'll go back to the big screen for just a second. There was also rumours and talk and mumblings. I didn't do a video, and I probably won't do a video because it's probably too far down the hill. Tim Krul has been linked with Blackburn Rovers, of course, formerly of Norwich. He might still be on the books of Norwich. Former Dutch #1 between the sticks. He's also of a caliber, but I think we may have missed the boat on that one as well. There's also talks of we did sign a young guy, I think it's Jack Barrett, was linked with Fleetwood, probably more for the under-21, something like that. And there's also another talk of some other young goalkeepers. So it looks like we're going to have a good small roster of goalkeepers, but realistically we don't have at the moment a challenger for Ainsley Pears, and of course Begovic would definitely do that, and some. So let's take a look at these two players, of course, and compare them side by side. Begovic, of course, is younger. No, he's not. Yes, he is. He's younger than that of John Ruddy, only by about 6 months or so. He is, of course, taller as well, 7 centimetres taller, both right-footed. John Ruddy now in the books of Newcastle United, we know that. And, of course, look at that. Look at that achievement history from Begovic. Premier League winner, I believe. FA Cup winner as well. There's some other glory in there compared to John Ruddy's measly, whatever that is, trophy down there. Let's take a look then at the stats. As you can see, though, despite Asmir Begovic being a little younger, and you would fancy him having more games, John Ruddy has got 100 more games than him. But where Begovic does boast the best is the Premier League appearances. 256 of his 452 games have been in the Prem de la Prem, whereas John Ruddy has just played 122. And in those 122, he, of course, has got 27 clean sheets, whereas Begovic rocks a 65% clean sheet record as well. He did leak in 357 goals in his time in the Prem. Ruddy 188 goals as well. Not sure what that last stat is there, but regardless, you know, he's pretty much up there, isn't he? Pretty savvy is Begovic. Been there, seen it, done it. His championship stats are 96 games played, 105 goals conceded, 30 clean sheets. So pretty much 1 in every 3 keeps a clean sheet. Is that what I'm saying there? Whereas Ruddy has got 83 clean sheets. Is that right? Am I reading that right? Again, not sure what that means. I haven't got my calculator out. What's so 1, 8, 16, 24? It's pretty much the same, very similar sort of stats there. But that's the players we have at the moment. I do have another graphic for you here. And let's take a look at it. In fact, this is it's not very flattering to Begovic. I think the blue is John Ruddy. Am I right? Yeah, so John Ruddy is better at the tackling, better at balance, better at aerials, better at anticipation, but Begovic has him on saves. So take from that from what you will. Again, Tim Krul linked, John Ruddy was linked. Looks like we missed the boat on both of those. We do need another keeper. Wowstadt is gone, guys. If it's not confirmed already, it's pretty much, it's just dotting the T's and crossing the I's. But you know, Rovers, we might even screw that up. So, Begovic, the latest experienced name. I've not seen or anything, heard anything more about anyone else. And this for me, this screams deal. This screams deal of the century. I'm not saying he would be #1, but he would definitely put Ainsley Pears on his tippy toes and could even challenge him for the #1 jersey. And for me, you know, he wears the captain's armband. He can rock that captain's jersey leading from the back, which is something we've lacked when Friedel or even Robertson. Was Robertson ever captain? I don't know, but I know Friedel definitely was. So we would have that leadership from the back, of course, to kind of dictate the play to the guys, move them forward. For me, this would be a killer deal. Out of the ones we've done so far this week, I think Liam Cooper does get me excited. This would put me closely far behind as well, so into sex. But let me know your thoughts and opinions about this one. Will Begovic become a Rover, or will this video be useless by the time it goes out? But until then, subscribe, smash the like. We'll be back again for another video tomorrow, but until then, we're done.